I want to show you everything that went into putting this 2026 planner together so that I can use it consistently every single day this year. Hey there, it's Elisa, but of course you can call me Ellie if that's easier for you to remember because I like the whole channel name and everything. I have been using a planner every day for the past 15 years. And part of making sure that I can use my planner system consistently is making sure that it can change with me as my needs change. For the past few years, there really hasn't been much change at all. My planner has pretty much been the same thing, a classic size happy planner with a dashboard layout. This year, I wanted to try something brand new. Mix things up a little bit, keep things feeling a little fresh. But starting from scratch with my planner process meant that I was facing a question that I haven't had to deal with for years. How do you even get started with choosing a new planner? So today I want to walk you through my complete process from beginning to end, figuring out how to pick out a new planner, finding and selecting the right pieces to make sure that I could put them all together into one simple planner that I can consistently use every day in 2026. Can you even see this planner? It matches my bedspread, so it's kind of blending in. I'm also kind of blending in. I find that there's just too many options out there for buying planners to just browse until you stumble upon something that you like. So when it comes time to buying a new planner, I usually like to go in with some sort of sense of direction. In the past, it was a pretty clear direction. Just find what I had been using before and get it again, more or less. But for 2026, I wanted something completely new, which meant that I had to face the overwhelming number of choices that there are out there. So to help me from getting too overwhelmed or getting distracted by new shiny things, I decided to start with some guidelines to remind myself of what it is I actually do want and don't want, and then ignore anything outside of that. Now, even though I was wanting to freshen up my planner selection, there were some things that have worked in my previous planners that I didn't want to get rid of, that I wanted to make sure my new planner still had. First of all, I wanted to make sure I still stuck with a disc-bound system. I'm not willing to get away from that for my functional planner. I wanted to keep a monthly calendar layout for content planning, which I do hope to stick to better this year. And then I wanted to have weekly spreads for more functional daily planning. And I wanted to make sure those weekly spreads had extra space for things like notes, dashboards, lists, like a lot of extra space. Then there were the things that I had been modifying in my planner, which were working, that I wish automatically came with my planner, which were weekly habit trackers, then some kind of side-by-side list situation for daily tasks and plans. The new things I was looking for when I was shopping for a new planner system were, I wanted the new planner to be smaller, not super teeny tiny, just like a little bit smaller. I wanted the weekly spreads to be more horizontal so that all 7 days could line up vertically on the page instead of the 2-column boxy square layout that the dashboard happy planner layout has. I also wanted to try having a separate section for my monthly calendars and my weekly spreads. Then, not a requirement, but a nice bonus would be to have the week start day be the same on the monthly spread as it is on the weekly spread. It drives me nuts that there's all these planners out here that have a Monday start day for the weekly spreads or the daily spreads, but then the calendar is still a Sunday start day. I do like a Monday start, but if they could just both start on the same day, just both Sunday start, both Monday start, I don't care. Just keep it consistent. Once I had a general idea of everything that I needed, it was time to go shopping, and I did my shopping online, which has some pros and cons. There's a lot more options online, but then you don't actually get to hold and feel the planner, which is a little bit risky, but I'm not super picky when it comes to paper, so online shopping is good enough for me. This probably was my favorite part of the whole process. I just get so excited being able to see all of my ideas come to life across like a bajillion tabs that I have open in my browser. I don't have any like particular brand loyalty. So basically what I did was pull up the websites for all the different types of planner brands out there that I knew about through friends or social media, and then just look through their options to see if they offered something that might work for me, and then kind of went from there. Hey, this is just your friendly reminder to check for affiliate links or discount codes before you buy any planner supplies. If you follow any planner-based content creators, a lot of times those content creators have some kind of affiliate or discount code or something where either they or you or both will get some kind of benefit of you shopping through those links. I have a lot of friends who do, and I almost always forget to check for those links before I make a purchase. So this is just a reminder, if you are someone who knows people with discount codes or affiliate links for planners, don't forget to check for those before you make a planner purchase. I know in this digital age, you might think that like finding paper planners would be the difficult part, but really there's so many options. The hardest part was just like narrowing down what I wanted. But after like a multi-day long OCD hyperfixation of just opening and searching through as many tabs on my computer as I could, I finally found the perfect collection of pieces that would be exactly what I needed for 2026. I say collection of pieces because remember, this is a disc-bound planner system, so you can kind of combine and move things together. There are plenty of disc-bound planner systems out there where all of the pieces come together, but I like making things a little bit more complicated and customized than that. I ended up going with a half letter size setup, which is slightly smaller than the classic size Happy Planner system that I had been using for the past few years, and the inserts are from Jane's Agenda. I got the weekly planner inserts, number 5, I guess, the dated monthly planner inserts, which came with some quick glance pages, and then some extra dot grid paper because you know I love a good dot grid. I got the discs on Amazon. I went with the 3/4 inch rose gold discs from Levenger, and for the cover I went with a shop that was new to me. It's called the Collected Planner. I ordered the charcoal terrazzo translucent cover and the matching divider set, and because I couldn't help myself, I ended up getting some more of that like floral scrapbook paper from Michaels with that pattern that I'm like obsessed with. I say as I'm sitting on my bed covered with that same exact pattern. This print has basically just become my entire personality at this point. Okay, I think I lied earlier because this was my favorite part of the whole planner process. Once I got all of the materials, it was time to put them all together and set them up as my new 2026 planner. When it comes to putting together a disc-bound planner, it's easiest to start with the discs and the cover first, and then start working on the actual paper inserts. I did end up changing my mind a few times on how the actual planner was constructed, which is fine. That's one of the benefits of having a disc-bound planner. You can move things around as much as you need. Since I was ordering things online, I wasn't sure what colored discs would match the cover the best. I got the platinum discs just in case. I figured those were a safe bet, but I was very pleased to see that the pink rose gold discs looked just as well. I also went back and forth between using the top tabs or the side tabs for the dividers. I don't really have a preference functionally of which one I use, but I liked that the side tabs fit within the cover so they don't stick out when the planner is closed. And then I had a really hard time deciding what order to put the different planner sections in. I ended up going with the at a glance pages at the beginning, then the section for the monthly content pages, then the extra notes pages, and then the weekly pages. But honestly, I'm still not really sold on that. I might end up changing it again. First, let's just take a moment to take in how beautiful this planner is. The pattern on this translucent cover from the Collected Planner is like very chic, but also at the same time kind of reminds me of like asphalt, which makes it feel a little bit more grungy, a little bit more edgy, I think. And then the muted floral design from the scrapbook paper, I think just blends perfectly in the background. And then those rose gold Levenger discs really bring everything together. And they miraculously ended up being the perfect size, which was a bit of a gamble. At the front, we do have the Jane's Agenda quick glance pages. I think I'm going to use these basically like a monthly calendar. I don't need a lot of space, so I think these will work just fine. The monthly inserts also came with a task list. I like the idea of seeing these lists side by side with the quick glance pages, so I punched the other side of this page so I could move it around based on whichever months I'm currently looking at. Next, there's those actual monthly calendar inserts. This is a section that's most like my previous planners. I'm going to use these pages for content planning and figuring out when I'm posting certain long form videos. Then we have my extra dot grid paper. It doesn't really need to have its own designated section, but I had enough dividers for it, so I figured why not. Lastly, we have my weekly pages. I'm really excited about these. They still feel like my old dashboard system where I would have the right side for planning and then the left side would be for more miscellaneous stuff. I don't really need much space for date specific specific plans, I usually only end up writing a couple of things down per day, if anything. So this setup really shrunk down the area for my day-by-day plans and opened up a lot more space for lists and freehand notes, which I use more often. Overall, I am just really pleased with how this planner turned out. Everything feels very sturdy and luxurious. This has been my first experience with Jane's Agenda paper, and I really like it. It's very smooth, but not too thin, and I am just loving the size. It's been a while since I've had a full year on my planner at one time as I'm using it functionally. I just don't like writing in like big, thick, chunky books. I don't like feeling like my hand is falling off a cliff when I get to the edge of a paper, but somehow this is the full year and it fits on 3/4 inch discs, which I think says a lot about the quality of the paper. It means that the pages are thin enough to not take up too much space, but not see through, and that is key. I'm very particular about ghosting. I cannot handle it. And I gotta say, I think this is my favorite planner to date. I feel like I've been saying that for the past few years. Every time I get a new planner, it's my favorite planner I've had up to that point, and that's a good thing, I think.